time for you to plan for original research. You know that means job shadowing, site visiting, interviews, or another experience where you can get your answers straight from their source. Interviews, job shadowing, site visits, these experiences provide you with great info to help with your iSearch question, but there are a few factors we want you to consider and keep in mind as you plan and conduct your original research. One of your sources for the iSearch must be original research. Findings from other researchers, that's called secondary sources, and you'll use those too, but we are talking today about that original research. So who could your experts be? Think about who you could pick. Maybe Google it. Find somebody from the community who has expertise in your topic. Ask your folks, your parents, or people at home who could be an expert in this field, and maybe ask me or your other teachers and your classmates if you think you could come up with ideas that way. For original research, you could do an interview, a job shadow, a site visit. You could observe a college class or take a lesson related to your topic. Maybe conduct an experiment and take some documentation. Here's what you can plan to say. If you need, you could pause the video or go back to the party favor packet we gave you that has a card with this information in it. Hi, my name is Nicole, and I'm an 8th grader at Saco Middle School. I'm researching travel for school, and I'm looking for an expert to interview about my topic. Would you have some time to help me out? Something like that that's nice and polite. When you plan a face-to-face interview, that's the best because you get to read people's body language that way. If you're not going to be able to do a face-to-face interview or original research that way, try planning Skype or a FaceTime, and maybe a phone interview would be okay, but it's not ideal because you can't see the person and see their environment too. And you have to ask first if you need to do an interview by email because that's not as ideal. I want you to make sure you are prepared. Most likely this person who will help you with original research is really busy and has given you some time generously from their schedule. So make sure you've prepared, and let me show you how to do that. When it's time to go conduct your original research, dress the part, dress appropriately, and be prepared with all of the materials you'll need. Be considerate and maybe limit your interview to about 20 minutes. Job shadowing and site visits could probably take longer. Make sure that you use your manners, be polite, thank the expert when time is up. And if you feel like you need to continue the discussion later, schedule a follow-up interview or maybe plan to send an email message of thanks later on. When it comes time to planning what questions to ask for original research, I recommend you go to the sub-questions from your iSearch chart first. Those were the things that you originally said you wanted to know. Get some expert advice and answers on those questions. That's a great place to start. But also plan for follow-up questions. Bring a bunch of questions to ask. Bring them with you to your site visit or your interview. And think about all the parts of the topic you're interested in so you can plan in advance for how to articulate your questions, like how to say what you are wanting to find out. Here are some ideas. Tell me how to spell your first and last name. What is your degree? Is it a bachelor's or master's? What is your job title? Tell me how you began to be interested in this field. How many years have you been in this field? What's the best advice you could offer someone interested in this field? Record your research if possible. It won't always be possible to record, and it's not ethical to record others without their permission, so ask your expert if you have their permission to record. And right here, it's the information on how you could use your laptop to do that. Also, if you have an iPhone or iTouch available to you, you could use the voice memo. That way, you don't have to worry about taking notes while your expert is speaking. You could go back and listen later to take down important information. When you go for your site visit, job shadow, or original research, make sure you bring lined paper, clipboard, pen and pencil, or some other way that you can write down notes. Try to bring a method of recording and make sure that you get permission from the person to record. And definitely don't forget your list of questions. During your interview, ask open-ended questions. That means questions that don't have yes or no answers, and try to keep the conversation going. Make sure you make eye contact with your expert, smile at them, nod while they're talking to show that you're interested. Listen carefully to what your expert has to say, and if you can, take notes a little bit while they're talking, but if you have a recording going, wait and do the notes later. When you're doing notes, ask for correct spellings of important words like industry terms or job titles or locations, places. You will want to make sure that you know how to spell those words when it comes time to write up your findings. Write down answers to sub-questions if you can. use that lined paper to write down notes in a really fast way, and then later on you can use your note cards, your index cards, to take notes and use the color coding system. And if you've been able to record your expert while they're talking, listen back later to take your notes. Have fun with your original research. This research is one of the best parts of iSearch because you're finding out exactly what you want to know by asking your question from someone who knows the answers. Being prepared for your original research is going to help you have a more successful original research experience. If you have more questions about it, please come talk to your teachers. We really want to help you have an excellent original research experience. Good luck!